We are now starting with the third chapter, that is some analytical techniques. The first topic that we are going to study under this chapter is purification of solids. A solid substance contains two types of impurities. Impurities means all the waste material, or in simple words, what you call is kachra. First is the impurity which is soluble in the solvent as that of the main substance. Second, the impurity is not soluble in the solvent as that of the main substance. What does this mean? For example, if you take sodium chloride, which is a solid, and you take water as the solvent, and this sodium chloride has some impurity present in it. So according to the first type, you take sodium chloride, you add it in water, and then the sodium chloride is going to dissolve in water, but the impurity will also dissolve along with sodium chloride in the water. According to the second type, the impurity is not going to dissolve in the same solvent as that of the main substance. Now you will take sodium chloride along with the impurity and dissolve in water, but according to the condition, only sodium chloride will dissolve. Impurity is not going to dissolve in the solvent, that is water. This example was considered just for your understanding. The second type of impurity, which remained undissolved in the solvent, can be easily separated using a suitable solvent to dissolve the main compound, and the impurities which remain undissolved can be separated by using a simple process called as filtration. When we prepare tea, we add water, sugar, tea leaves, and in order to separate the tea leaves, we filter the tea leaves so that we get the liquid part of the tea, that is the decoction of tea. Second example is mixing of sand and water. If I want to separate out water, then of course I have to filter the mixture of sand and water. The process of filtration is carried out using a filter paper. This filter paper is then folded in a cone shape and is then placed in the funnel. The funnel along with the filter paper is then fixed to a stand and a beaker is kept below it. The filter paper is made moist, that means it is made wet, with the solution that you are going to filter, so that the cone remains intact. The filter paper cone remains intact in the funnel. After filtering the solution, the insoluble part which remains on the filter paper is called as the residue, whereas the liquid which gets collected in the beaker is called as the filtrate. Here is a video which will explain you the process of filtration.
Experiment to separate a mixture of mud and water by filtration. Mix mud and water in a clear glass beaker. We observe that the color of the mixture turns brown. Take a circular filter paper and fold it in half, and then in half again, so that you get a cone shape. Place the conical filter inside the funnel. To use the filter paper, open it up into a cone shape with 3 layers on one side of the cone and 1 layer on the other. It will form a cone shape. Put another glass beaker below the funnel. Pour the mud water slowly into the cone with the help of a glass rod. Watch it drip through the filter paper and funnel. We observe clear water getting collected in the other beaker placed below the funnel and the mud in the filter paper. The substance that remains in the filter paper is called residue. The clear liquid or the substance that is collected after filtration is called filtrate. This method of separating insoluble impurities or substances from a liquid is called filtration.
So I hope you're clear with the process of filtration. Now we move on to the next topic, that is filtration under suction. When the process of filtration is carried out using a vacuum pump, then it is called as filtration under suction. Filtration under suction has an advantage over the simple filtration process because it is more efficient and also the filtration takes place faster. Here is a diagram which explains the setup for filtration under suction. It consists of a thick wall conical flask which has a side arm. The conical flask is connected to a safety bottle by the rubber tubing here. Why is this safety bottle used? This safety bottle prevents the sucking of the filtrate into the suction pump. A special porcelain funnel called as Buchner funnel is fitted on the conical flask with the help of a rubber cork. This Buchner funnel which is used has a porous circular bottom. Porous means there are holes. You can observe the porous bottom here in this picture. A circular filter paper of the correct size is placed on the circular porous bottom of the Buchner funnel and the funnel is then placed on the flask. The filter paper is then made moist with the help of water or solvent that is used for the separation. Suction is created by starting the pump and the filtration process is carried out. The impurities or the crystals, they get collected on the Buchner funnel while the filtrate is collected in the conical flask. Let us now watch a video to understand filtration under suction. So this is the setup for filtration under suction. We have a rubber tubing which is connected to the safety bottle. Here it is connected to the vacuum pump. Now this is the Buchner funnel. I told you it is porous in nature, so you can see those holes out there. We are using this Buchner funnel, not the other one. Then we put the Buchner funnel with the help of a rubber cork onto the conical flask. This is a filter paper. It should fit the size of the Buchner funnel so that the holes or the porous bottom of the Buchner funnel is covered with it. So you can see it here now. Next, just add up the mixture that you want to separate. See how fast the crystals are separated. If you carry out the same process using simple filtration, it will take a longer time. Whereas when you use filtration under suction, it takes place faster. So this was all about the filtration process. Now we move on to the next process, that is crystallization. When a crude solid is made of only one substance and has impurities, it is purified by the process of crystallization. Crude means the substance is in the natural state. The process of crystallization involves 4 steps. First step is preparation of saturated solution. Second is hot filtration. Third is cooling of the filtrate. And last is filtration. So we start with the first step, that is preparation of saturated solution. A saturated solution is a solution which does not dissolve an additional quantity of solute. Just to make this definition simple, if I give you a beaker full of water and if I add 2 tablespoons of sugar in it, of course the sugar is going to dissolve in water. If I keep on adding the sugar in it, what is going to happen? A time is going to come when the capacity of water molecules to dissolve the sugar is going to come to an end. And that resultant solution is called as saturated solution. At times in school, you must have heard students saying that my brain is saturated. Now, whatever teacher is going to teach, that is not going to enter in my brain. Means what? Your brain is full. So, whatever efforts the teacher tries to make you all understand, once you have closed the door of your brains, of course, it is not going to enter in your brain, right? Which means that the capacity of your brain is full and no more teaching can enter into your brains. These examples were given just for your understanding, which are similar to saturated solution. So how are you going to prepare a saturated solution for the process of crystallization? A saturated solution of a crude solid is boiled in small but sufficient amount of solvent. So this results in the formation of a saturated solution in terms of the solute, that is the crude solid that you took, but not in terms of impurities, because impurities are present in very small amount. Now we move on to the next step, that is hot filtration. Here the above prepared saturated solution is filtered hot using the filtration under suction process. We use this process because we know it is more efficient and the filtration takes place at a faster rate. The impurities which did not get dissolved in the first step get collected here in the form of residue in the Buchner funnel. Now we move on to the third step, that is cooling of the filtrate. So filtrate will get collected in the conical flask. The hot filtrate in the conical flask is allowed to cool down. Here, the solubility of a substance decreases with lowering of temperature. What does this mean? When you are heating the substance, the solution of the solid, that time the temperature was high. But when you are allowing the filtrate to cool down, means the temperature is now getting lowered. And this affects the solubility of the substance, and because of this the filtrate now becomes supersaturated. Supersaturated means it increases the concentration beyond the point of saturation, and this is the reason that excess quantity of solute which is present in the filtrate now gets converted to crystals. If in case there were some impurities which were dissolved along with the solute in the first step, then they are not responsible for the formation of supersaturated solution because they are very small in amount. So they continue to remain in the solution or in the filtrate even after cooling. The crystals thus formed are separated from the soluble impurities. Then we move on to the last step, that is filtration. The crystals of the pure substance are separated using the process of filtration. The filtrate which is obtained after filtering is called as the mother liquor. The crystals collected here, they are free of soluble as well as insoluble impurities. The solvent that we choose has some criteria. First criteria is the compound to be crystallized should be at least or sparingly soluble in the solvent at room temperature, but highly soluble at high temperature, which means the solid that you take should dissolve in the solvent. If it is not dissolving completely, then at least partially it should dissolve. Also, if it is not dissolving partially, then when you apply heat to that particular solution, then the solid should dissolve in the solvent. Second criteria is solvent should not react chemically with the solid to be purified. So the solid or the substance which is to be purified should not undergo a chemical reaction with the solvent. Third criteria is solvent should be volatile so that it can be removed easily. Volatile means the substance which catches fire easily or also it evaporates quickly. Acetone is an example of a volatile liquid. It is used to remove the nail paint. So girls might know it better when they apply the acetone on their nails. It is very cold and it evaporates quickly. Also, it is mentioned on the bottle that please store it in a dry place away from fire because it catches fire easily. Some of the examples of solvents which are used for crystallization are as follows: water, ethyl alcohol, methyl alcohol, acetone, ether, or even combination of the above. There is an activity which is mentioned in your textbook, which is the purification of common salt. So here is an animated video to understand the same concept. I hope you enjoyed the video. It is taken from Smart Learning for All. Impure copper sulfate can also be purified using the process of crystallization. Water can be used as the solvent here. In similar manner, benzoic acid can also be crystallized. Next concept is fractional crystallization. Two or more substances in a mixture can be separated using the fractional crystallization process, wherein two or more soluble substances having different solubilities can be separated using the same solvent at room temperature. We are going to consider a mixture of two solutes, say solute A and solute B. The mixture of these two solutes is dissolved in a hot solvent to prepare a saturated solution. The hot saturated solution is then filtered to remove any dust particles, and the filtrate is allowed to cool. As the solution is cooling, the solute which is less soluble is going to crystal out first. The crystals formed here are filtered, washed with solvent and are dried. The mother liquor obtained is then concentrated by evaporating it, and this is how the crystals of second solute will be formed. Then the crystals of the second solute are then filtered and dried. In the next video, we shall study about distillation, fractional distillation, distillation using pressure, and solvent extraction.